Legends aren't just entertaining stories, they often feature heroes with extraordinary abilities and impossible feats. But is there any truth hidden in these tales? Surprisingly, the answer is sometimes yes. Today we're exploring some ancient figures from mythology that might have existed. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment with any other mythological backstories you'd like us to uncover. Let's get started. First up, the famous King Arthur. He's known for defending Britain from invaders, pulling swords from stones, and gathering knights around his fabled Round Table. But did he exist? While no solid historical records from Arthur's time mention him, some evidence points to a war leader from the 5th or 6th century who could have been the inspiration for Arthur. Near Tintagel, believed to be Arthur's birthplace, an ancient engraving with the name Artugnu was found, possibly alluding to the legendary king. In Colchester, archaeologists also uncovered what might have been a real-life round table, sparking debate over whether Camelot's legendary court had a historical basis. There's even speculation that a British leader named Rhyothemus, whose title translates to High King, might be the man behind the Arthur legend. Now let's talk about King Midas, infamous for wishing that everything he touched would turn to gold. His wish became a curse as even food and loved ones were transformed into lifeless gold. But the myth might be based on several real Phrygian kings named Midas. One of these rulers, referred to as Mida in Assyrian texts, may have inspired the legend. Archaeologists believe they've located his burial mound, known as Tumulus M, which was built in the 8th century and filled with provisions for the afterlife. The grandeur of his tomb certainly fits someone associated with wealth and gold. Another well-known figure is Robin Hood, the outlaw who stole from the rich to give to the poor. But was there a real Robin Hood? While the story is likely embellished, the name Robin Hood was commonly associated with criminals in medieval England. Some historians believe the legend was based on a real outlaw named Roger Godbird, though his actions were far less noble than the stories suggest. Paris, the Trojan prince who kidnapped Helen and sparked the Trojan War, is another figure rooted in myth. Yet Troy itself was a real city in modern-day Turkey. Some historians believe that Paris might have been inspired by a ruler named Alexander, whose name bears a striking resemblance to Paris's alternate name, Alexander. This historical figure, who ruled Troy around the 8th century BC, could have been the man behind the myth, though the story of Helen's abduction remains uncertain. King Priam, Paris's father, might also have been based on a real person. During the Late Bronze Age, records mention a rebel leader named Piaramadu, whose name could have evolved into Priam over time. This historical figure resisted the powerful Hittites and may have laid the foundation for the legendary Trojan king. Merlin, the magical advisor to King Arthur, is often depicted as a wizard with supernatural powers. However, some believe that Merlin's character was based on a real person named Myrddin Wyllt. According to historical accounts, Myrddin was a poet who went mad after witnessing a devastating battle and fled to live in the forest, where his story grew into legend. Croesus, the king known for his immense wealth, is another figure who straddles the line between myth and reality. The phrase "rich as Croesus" comes from his reputation as a wealthy ruler of Lydia in the 6th century BC. However, his downfall came after he misinterpreted a prophecy from the Oracle of Delphi, leading to the destruction of his empire. While Croesus' story has been exaggerated over time, he was indeed a powerful ruler who played a major role in the ancient world. Imhotep, the high priest turned cursed mummy in popular films, also has real historical roots. In ancient Egypt, Imhotep was an architect and advisor to Pharaoh Djoser, famous for his contributions to the construction of Egypt's first pyramids. Over time, Imhotep was deified as a healer, believed to possess magical abilities. Gyges of Lydia is another historical figure shrouded in legend. He founded a dynasty in the 7th century BC, but stories about him include fantastical elements like a magic ring. Despite the fictional aspects, Gyges was a real king who forged alliances and expanded his kingdom's influence, although he ultimately met a violent end at the hands of invaders. Finally, there's Semiramis, often credited with building the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. While her story is mostly legend, she was inspired by a real Assyrian queen named Sammu Rammat, who wielded considerable political influence during the 9th century BC as the regent for her son. Though she didn't rule directly, her significant power and contributions to religious temples may have contributed to the divine status she holds in legend. So what do you think? Do these ancient figures have real-world counterparts, or are they simply products of imagination? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching this video. Before we end the video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.